Hello there, shooters, collectors, history buffs, and people who left their devices unattended and it started playing random videos. Welcome to another episode of What I Found in Dad's Secret Arsenal. Today I'm very excited to present this beautiful muzzleloading air rifle that Dad made almost entirely from scratch. Obviously he didn't make the barrel, he didn't forge that by hand or anything. It's a 32 caliber muzzleloading air rifle. It takes these 32 caliber mini balls that I have here, and it doesn't take any kind of powder. It runs on 2 CO2 cartridges. If you watch my last episode on the Crosman Trapmaster 1100 shotguns, that's the base gun that Dad used for this. It has the Crosman Trapmaster internals, and I'll show you that in a minute or two. But first let me just show off the gun a little bit. If you notice, the hammer doesn't contact the nipple with the percussion cap on it. That's all fake. The hammer actually swings past the nipple, so it engages the air valve inside the gun and fires the gun. It's actually totally fake, and in fact, Dad took this gun to the range one time, and he had it in the rifle rack when everybody was down range setting up their targets, and the range officer came over and freaked out because he thought he had a loaded muzzleloading rifle in the gun rack. And my father had to explain to him that it was an air rifle and that the nipple is fake and that the percussion cap was fake. And after that, it was fine, but you know, I guess it served them right. That's kind of a silly thing to do for Dad to put that thing there and not tell the guy beforehand. I'd probably freak out on him too. So let me just pick this up and show it off a little bit. You can see that Dad made this peep sight. The lower part is probably from some sort of a rifle there. I can't really tell what it is. It doesn't really have any markings, anything on it that I can see. The brass part and everything is probably something that he machined with his lathe. And the hammer is all custom made. The receiver, I think it might be brazed together. I'm not sure it's welded. It could be welded, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. The finish is a brown patina. That it's not blued. It's almost like a rust coating almost. I guess that brown. But I'm sure if you're familiar with guns, you're familiar with brown finishing. So the gun weighs in at just under 13 pounds. It's actually getting heavy for me to hold it like this. He made this beautiful trigger guard. And all the wood and the stock and everything, the whole thing you can see is metal all the way through, and this is why it's so heavy. This metal strap goes all the way to the receiver. The receiver is all plate steel. The trigger guard that he made, I mean, it goes all the way through to the butt plate, all the way back around. There's a strap that goes, it really encompasses the entire gun, that metal. So I'm going to lay it down here. I tried to get as much of it, it's so long, I tried to get as much of it in frame as I could here. I'm going to have to scooch it down a little bit more there. Now, I don't know why this barrel is so long. Dad made it. I think the barrel I measured was like 42 inches. Overall, the whole gun is 58 inches. It is massive. In fact, I think it's the biggest, heaviest gun that Dad has in the arsenal. This one doesn't fit in the cabinet. I actually have to stand this one up next to it because it's just too damn big. So I don't know why he made the barrel that long. I think that at some point when you make the barrel that long, you're actually causing friction on the bullet. It's probably slowing it down, to tell you the truth. I can't imagine that long barrel is actually helping anything. So to get to the internals, I'm going to show you. You remove this little thumb screw here, and you can see that Dad made a little screwdriver out of it. So if you're in the field or you're hunting or whatever, you can get cartridges back in it. There's a little screw there, but I'm not going to use that for it. I'll use my nice Mac tool screwdriver. It's already got a couple of chips around that screw, so I don't want to do anything else to it that it might screw it up any further. Let me just remove this stock here, pull this off, and this comes apart. And the fit on this gun is super tight. I mean, it actually makes me a little nervous to take these things off. So you can see how thin they are. And even in some spots, like on the other piece I'll show you in a second, like he had to carve all this out to make everything fit. And on the other side, when this comes off here, you can see that the stock is very thin down on the bottom there. And it fits on there just perfectly, and there's already a couple of little scratches in it, so I really want to kind of preserve this and take care of it. I will shoot it. I took a couple of shots with it down here, and I didn't have any patches. I have to dig them out there. They're buried in with the muzzleloader stuff in the arsenal, so I got to get those out and really give it a whirl. I'm cleaning up outside and trying to get a little range set up for some of the air guns. This thing's nice and quiet, so we could probably shoot it in the yard with no problems. Living on Long Island, I don't have a lot of neighbors, not a lot of people here, but obviously can't shoot real guns here. It's not legal. But the air guns I think we'll be able to get away with. maybe the Trapmasters and a couple of the pellet guns and stuff. We'll do some shooting outside. But you can see that if you watch that last video on the Trapmasters, this is the cartridge holder from a Trapmaster, and you can see the internals there. The hammer actually swings past that nipple, and I'm going to take a shot with it. There's some gas in it, but there's nothing over on the other bench. We can give a quick pull of the trigger, and you guys can check it out. And you can actually see that the hammer goes past there and fires the gun. I'm not going to take the cover off the receiver, and in fact, not even sure what's inside there. I haven't taken that apart yet. I just took it off so I could get the cartridges in it. But it is a really fantastic gun that Dad made, and the reason he made it, I think his inspiration for this was the Giordoni rifle. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. I mean, my father's Italian, so I'm probably screwing that up. Giordoni, I think is how it said. Giordoni? Giordoni. We're going to go with Giordoni. I think there's a couple of different spellings, and there may have been some mix-ups in the actual pronunciation of that rifle. But it's called a Giordoni air rifle, and it was made in the late 1700s. It was actually the first repeating rifle that was available, and Lewis and Clark had taken one on their expedition across the country. And my father read an article in American Rifleman or one of his gun magazines. Now, he saw that and thought it was like the coolest thing in the world. So that was his inspiration for building a muzzleloading air rifle that was like, that looked part for the time. Now, the Giordoni rifle wasn't a muzzleloader. It was actually a repeating rifle, and it held a bunch of round balls in a tube next to the barrel, like right here, that you loaded them up, and it had like a chamber that slid back and forth to bring the balls into the barrel and fire them. So it was really a cool setup. If you're not familiar with it and you're not familiar with the story of that rifle, check it out online. Do a little quick Google search for the air rifle from the Lewis and Clark expedition, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a very interesting story. It was also very interesting on the story about that air rifle, on how they used it to scare the Indians. But I don't want to give that away. I'll leave that up to anybody who's interested in doing that research. But I think that'll wrap it up here. That's Dad's custom muzzleloader Crosman Trapmaster air rifle. And I appreciate everybody watching and checking out the videos. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down below. We'll catch you again next time. Thanks for watching.